All right, welcome to my garden. This year we're going to take a little tour and show you some of the things that's got going. It's already June 10th, so we got things fairly well established. We're going to go through it and go over all the different things that keep me busy in my garden so far. Right off the bat, here's our garden, and right up here at the front along the border here I have lettuce growing. Got some big tall lettuce plants. They're starting to go to seed, and we need to pick those today. Then we have some, those are just green leaf lettuce. We have some red ones here. I love these red ones, so we're going to start eating these red ones. They're just so fun. I love those. Had a number of plants. I plant probably too many because I can't eat that much lettuce, but we plant it right along the front here, and then in front of the lettuce we plant marigolds. Got a row of marigolds here, so once the lettuce is gone here in a couple 2 weeks, we pull all those out and we get a beautiful border of marigolds along the front here. Love those marigolds. Right behind the marigolds we have some cucumbers growing. They usually grow all over the ground, but we've put some cages up here, and we're going to see if we can train them up on these cages. Never trained my cucumbers, so I got some bush cucumbers that I use for just pickles, all kinds of pickles, dill pickles, sweet bread and butter pickles and such. And then this one over here is a slicer, so we got one slicer. So we have those right up here front, so I can pick those easily. And behind that I've gone and planted some more marigolds. We just had a lot of marigolds this year, so I got a row of marigolds in here, so that'll be fun. We have 3 rows of tomatoes. I have Ace, Better Boy, and Celebrity, and Big Mama Romas. And oh, right here at the front, right here, these 2 tall cages right here is an orange one, Sugar Sun, and then an F1 hybrid red one. So these are going to be my 2 small tomatoes right up here, so I can pick them easily. But let's go through the tomatoes again. I have 3 main kind, and they're on cages, and I haven't trimmed them or anything fancy like that. I haven't got into the ability to trim things, but I'm trying to get them to go up through the cages. Yeah, every once in a while one sneaks out, like this one right here. He snuck out, and we'll just reach down here and try to put him back in before I break him. Reach down here and pull out a weed or 2. But we're going to try to keep those in the cages. They're looking really good now. They're just starting to take off a lot now. And again, every once in a while I put a marigold in here. So on we go down the rows. Again, I have like 3 dozen or so. Then down here in the corner I have some tomatillas. We're going to grow a few tomatillas and put those up. We even have some hiding over here on this other side. We grew some over here one year and just had so many tomatillas that we put up, but those are getting kind of old in the house, and so we're gonna get some more tomatillas growing. Now, one thing you can see out here is I have just gone through here, and I'm weeding things. I love this new little tool I have here. It's a great little tool. My son got it for me. It's a little expensive, he says, but man, when it comes to going through and getting the weeds, this is a great tool. I love this tool. So I'm just going through and making my second run through here, maybe second or first run, and we'll go through and do the whole garden now with that tool. It's a great little tool. Again, the tomatoes are looking fantastic. And the other thing you'll notice is I have a drip system here, and I'm planting my tomatoes about 3 feet apart, and I have 2 gallon drippers on all of them. So I have them every foot, the 2 gallon drippers. So and I tried to line them up when I planted the tomatoes. So you got a dripper, maybe on both sides of it, looks like. Looks like that's what I did. I didn't put the dripper right on the plant. I planted the plant between two of the drippers. So that's what we got going with the tomatoes. Now, something that's going on within the tomatoes. I've had a real deal of field bindweed, and I am trying to get rid of it by I can never dig it all up. So I'm taking some glyphosate in these plastic test tubes, and I'm putting I rip off the leaves of a stem and I stick it in there and I let it sit there for 2 or 3 days, and then I'm hoping to kill all these permanently, because when I try to dig them up I can never get down to the root. So I have lots of tubes. I probably have 30 test tubes out here, plastic ones, that are slowly feeding these field bindweed, and I'm hoping to get rid of them, because this part of the garden seems like there's quite a few of them and we just need to get rid of them, and I'm going to methodically do that. Alright, so let's pick up the tubes here. So those are our 3 rows of tomatoes. I've marked those on my paper. I'm not sure. I got, like I say, I have Roma and Ace and Better Boy and Celebrity out there. The next thing in my garden, again, is my peppers. So I have a couple rows of peppers. They're come along. They don't look great yet, but I suspect they'll take off like the tomatoes have taken off. I put them in little cages because I like them to stand up. Right now the cages look like they're a little bit too much for them, but they'll fill those cages right out before the season's over, and we'll have lots of peppers. We'll have green bell, yellow bell, red bell, orange bell, Big Bertha, Anaheim chili, and Big Juan, jalapenos. So we have 2 rows of those. And then, you know, we use a lot of those for our hot sauce and peppers that we put up, and spaghetti sauce. And what we don't use for hot sauce and spaghetti sauce, we will freeze them, cut them up and freeze them, and eat those all winter long. We still have some in the freezer right now, so we're still eating them and having a ball. We love peppers and freezing them. Then I got a couple rows of onions here. These are yellow Spanish onions. Got a couple rows right next to each other. That will give us plenty for the winter. We'll have a hard time eating them that fast. We'll give a few away. We've got a row of beets this year. We didn't grow any beans, so we grew beets this year. We'll be putting those up as beets with onions, and we love beets. Next year we'll do beans. And the next last row here is I got a few marigolds along this side here, but we have cauliflower, broccoli, and cabbage. I got a couple here. This one's not doing real well for some reason, but looks like we might have a cabbage plant here forming right here. Another cabbage plant. Look at that beautiful cabbage plant. Oh my goodness, we're gonna be eating homegrown cabbage before not too long. Oh, and then I stuck in a pumpkin right here, because when the cabbage and stuff are done, I think we'll have put a trellis right here and grow these pumpkins right here on a trellis. And here we go. Oh, and then right here, oh my goodness, look at that. A beautiful little white cauliflower. Might have a bug or two on it, or dirt, but we're gonna have some cauliflower. Oh yeah, so we've got 4 or 5 plants of cauliflower as well, and they seem to be forming right now. And then down here on the end, oh, we got some broccoli forming right there. Nice broccoli forming. There's some more broccoli right there. So we're gonna have a little broccoli here real soon too. So this is kind of fun. We love cauliflower, broccoli, and cabbage growing here. So we got quite a few. So we're looking forward to that part of the garden right here. Anyway, that's the main part of the garden right there. Over here on this side right here, we have a couple big rows of raspberries. So we have this row here that's been cut down and is growing right now are everbearing. I think they're heritage, where these are just your typical July bearing raspberries here. They'll be on in a couple weeks. The bees are going to town on them right now. They're blooming and lots of bees. I think the guy across the street from my house here has some beehives. So I see lots of bees out here, which is great. And we'll be picking raspberries all the month of July. And these everbearing that are growing right here, we'll start picking those in October, September, October. So we'll have two different crops of raspberries. And then up here on the back fence, we have a trellis of Concord grapes and green grapes over here. So we got a trellis here on this side, kind of a fence that we have, and then I jump over to the chain link fence that's on the property boundary. So we get quite a few grapes. We'll probably put up 90 quarts of grapes. I've got a grape plant down here on the ground. It's having a hard time growing because it doesn't get a lot of shade down here. But this is a red Candace seedless grape. So I'm hoping to have this take over because we love red grapes. We have one on the other side and I'd like to have more. They are really great. So grapes, and we have grapes and we have raspberries. Over here behind here is our compost pits, and we've turned them. We turned the last one. We took this and put it over in the garden, and it's underneath a plastic tarp, so it's heating up in the summer, so to get rid of some of the seeds. So we turned the second one into the third one. It's not very full. And then we turned the first one into the second one, and now we're starting to fill up the first one again. So we kind of do this whole process as we go here. Okay, well, that's the grapes, the raspberries, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, beets, onions, peppers, tomatoes, tomatillas, lettuce. That's the main garden right now. Over here on the other side of the shed, we have some red grapes. Now, we don't get as many red grapes, but man, when they come on, we love the red grapes here. So we got a plant here that's just kind of growing up on this fence, and it's got lots of grapes on it. Hopefully we have a pretty good year of red grapes. Love the red grapes. So we have another little garden here on the other side, and this is where we grow our pumpkins, cantaloupes, zucchinis, and such. So right now we got some nice cantaloupe. These are Connecticut pumpkins or something, jack-o'-lantern, Big Macs, and cantaloupe. And then we got some yellow squash. We put yellow squash right here and green squash right here. And this year we hooked up a line. There's a pressure reduction deal and filter, and we've run a line down here, and then off of that line we put these little drip hoses, and they're going to eventually be sitting in a bowl or a canal around each plant. Initially though, I have put on a little dripper that I'm putting right up at the top of these, so they'll get water right at the top, and then eventually they'll get water down at the bottom as their roots get bigger. So I've done this year because I really had to manually put the sprinkler over here and waste a lot of water. And I think this will be a very conservative use these water this year because the water will go right to the plant and not everything in between with this drip system. So I'm excited about that. Down here, we're going to put some drips around the tree so it gets water too while it's down here. I don't have any squash or pumpkins growing down here under the tree. I found that the shadow produced by the tree really inhibits the growth of pumpkins. They like the sun. I actually had to trim off a little bit of this tree right here because these pumpkins right on the end would not grow very good if they had any shade. They like the sun. So that's this side of the garden, which is all the pumpkins, cantaloupe, zucchini, and such. And we're looking forward to this just being full and picking pumpkins for the grandkids in October. That's always a fun thing to have pumpkins for all the grandkids. Okay, well that's the garden for today. Just an update of where we're at. It's been a fun garden so far this year, and we're looking forward to lots of production this year. Like I say, we've been eating lettuce and such, and looking forward to those homegrown tomatoes. They'll be next, and then making fresh salsa with the onions and the peppers and the tomatoes. And just have a great year. We put the cover over the top of our greenhouse yesterday, so it's covered up. It's not so hot. We got a few plants left over that we still need to plant. Looking forward to doing that today as well. Anyway, that's John Sorensen and Laurie's garden this year. Hope you enjoyed the tour. All right, part of the garden is using it. I just picked a big old handful of lettuce on these lettuce plants that are just getting ready to bolt, but we got lettuce here, so we're going to go enjoy that for lunch today.